Hey everybody, thank you for joining me. This is Kay back at it with a new blog. Today's topic is don't put all your apples in one basket. Now, we all grew up with that saying, and I'm sure you heard it. And if you haven't heard it, we're going to dive into it. But before we get started, press like if you like my video, subscribe if you want to. Okay, let's get started. Now, you would probably say, Kay, why would you say don't put all your apples in one basket? Because if you put everything in one basket and if something happens to that basket, you might be in trouble. Number one, your job. Now, we tend to fall in love with our jobs, don't we? It gives us a false sense of security. We got someplace to go, we make money, and we just tend to fall in love with the job because they're helping us pay our bills, right? So we feel that false sense of security that this job is looking out for me and they got my back. But in reality is not so. That job is only really thinking about the bottom line, which is making money. Now, if you're able to help them make money, then you got a job. But if you can't make them no money, well, then you might not have a job. So, what do you do in that situation? Well, you should have other avenues of income. And if you don't have it right now, you should be thinking about things that you can do to bring in extra income. So this way, if for whatever reason, and it happened to me several times, that the job let me go and I had to figure it out. So what should you do? You should be figuring out why you got that job. What should you do in case of an emergency? What would I do? Do I have anything that I can do skill wise that can help me out? And you should be doing it while you working that job. You don't have to do it full time, but you should have it where it's that you can make a little money every now and then with whatever skill you have. The next thing is savings. Well, you don't want to put all your savings in one account because let's say if for whatever reason your debit card stopped working. Well, now you're stuck. Same thing with a credit card. You should have at least two credit cards and not have them maxed out because that credit card is like a bank in your pocket. If you fall on hard times, you don't have to go inside a bank and beg for money. You got a balance that you can use on your credit card, and hopefully it's $1,000 or more where it can help you out in a pinch. The next thing is investing. Well, you don't want to invest in your company stock only. You want to have stocks in different investment firms. This way, if someone hacks one account, they don't have access to all your accounts and wipe you out. So you don't want to have everything in one account, even a bank account for your savings or your checking, because same thing, if people hack and get into that checking account, they can wipe you out and hopefully the bank will reimburse you, but then you're stuck until they figure it out. The next thing is a car, and we all know cars are very expensive. You got the upkeep, insurance, title, taxes, blah 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 blah. But if you can afford to have two cars and it's not really costing you as much, well, now you got a bag up. If one car needs to go in the shop, now you're not on public transportation and you can still get around and do what you need to do. The next one is housing. If you don't own a house and you are able to maybe purchase one day, you may want to consider that because rents are constantly going up, and then it might just price you out of getting an apartment. We see it all the time on the news that people are being priced out of where they live. So you may want to consider getting a house, something that you can afford at a price that you can afford, and this way maybe you'll be okay. The next one is having a backup plan. And the backup plan is all the things that I just talked about. You just want to make sure that you have things in place in case things go south. For instance, let's look at groceries. I went to the grocery store yesterday and some of the shelves were bare. So now what? So what if people really start doing a panic buy? If we have problems with the economy, what happens then if you don't have enough food in your house? Now you screwed. So you may want to buy a little extra, even though you don't need it, but get the things that you think that you might need and get your freezer. And this way, if things go south, well, you got a little something in the house to hold you over. Same thing with gas. I, I would always recommend that you keep the gas tank at least half full. This way, if you're in a snowstorm or the traffic is congested due to an accident or something like that, well, you got some gas. This way you can stay warm if it's in the wintertime, and if it's in the summertime, you can stay cool. Just to make sure you have some gas because you may get lost. And if you get lost and you only got a quarter tank, you might be in trouble. So you may want to keep gas. It's very important. The next thing is heating uh, gas, your bill. You may want to, pay in advance on your gas bill. Gas companies will let you do that. Even in the summertime when you're not using a lot of gas, I would make a little budget that I think that I can afford to do. With me, it's $140 a month. I pay that $140 whether I need it or not. Even in the summertime when the bill drops way down, where now I'm building up credit and reserves in my gas bill. So when wintertime comes around, I'm good to go. And you should do that the same thing with your electric bill. This way, if you are off work for a little while, you got something that can still be maintained because you were paying when you didn't have to. So that's just food for thought. Let me know what you think. This is Kay back at it with another blog. Press like if you like my video. Subscribe. Thank you. Have a great day.